Hell of a grip there, fella. I bet you jerk off a lot. Men of Reddit, what pisses you off most about other men? When they make an unfunny joke at your expense to look good in front of women. Proper dick move. MF acting like we best friends for couple of hours, then few girls join and suddenly he's roasting my hair loss. Ouch, that's low. Why do people think it's okay to joke about hair loss? If I was the only bald guy in the world, I'd be bothered, but there's quite a few of us. Guy at work called me a bald cunt in an argument. He'd made a few comments beforehand, so I just said I'll grow my hair back if you sort your teeth out. I can smell them from here. He stormed off and didn't speak to me for 3 months. He was a poisoned dwarf who bitched about everyone there. People tolerated him, but I was newish and wanted to nip it in the bud, not having a little prick speak to me like that. The guys who have to be the alpha. They usually start asserting their dominance when they give you a handshake that turns your knuckles white. Then it progresses to invading your personal space while puffing their chest out. Insecure losers. Hell of a grip there, fella. I bet you jerk off a lot. Why, yes, old spot. Behold the musculature and extensive protrusion of the vascular upon my forearm. This the result of extensive penile manipulation. I don't have much to complain about my guy friends. However, I just hate some men who, when in a group, keep trying to establish dominance. They usually do that by being loud, interrupting people and laughing at you, instead of laughing with you. Edit, wow. Thanks for the awards. As people say, I didn't expect this to blow up. The newbie is flattered. Also, on the flip side, some guys can command respect of a group without even seeming to try. They are respectful and polite, don't need to raise their voices and know how to earn the respect of others. These are naturals, and guys, at least in my experience, tend to enjoy their company. Ah yes, the power-hungry dominance freaks. They fail to understand that social power comes from the ability to elevate others, and have them rely on you, not the ability to put them down. The guys who keep getting slightly louder than you, cutting you off, and making subtle digs at you to cut you down are the absolute worst human beings to socialize with. At least the overt assholes are obvious. Turning insecurity into aggression and hatred for others. After reading the lot of these, insecurity is the common denominator here. It's all just projections of varying insecurities. In the book Don't You Know Who I Am? Dr. Ramnidhar Vasula asserts that narcissistic people are pathologically insecure. This insecurity manifests itself in rage, entitlement and other negative emotions. She goes on to say that narcissism is endemic in our society, being fueled by social media and popular culture. It's interesting to me how the same personality traits that are detrimental to our personal relationships can be beneficial and even admired in the workplace. Dr. Robert Hare started writing about psychopaths after working in a Canadian prison. He realized that, though psychopathic prisoners receive publicity because of their depraved crimes, that the vast majority of psychopaths are, as he says, among us, not incarcerated. A book he co-authored, Snakes in Suits, focused on psychopaths in the workplace. Guys that behave desperate around women and won't stop hitting on them even if they clearly aren't interested. I once nearly got into a fight because this one guy was hitting on a good friend of mine and tried to get her attention by stealing her stuff, and when I stopped him he got really angry. A few years back in high school I almost fought a pervert that kept looking down the shirt of my friend. She was very beautiful so she got a lot of unwanted attention, but this guy was the worst. He'd force himself on her to give some hugs and tried to grab her thighs or tits a few times. Luckily I sat next to her so I'd stop him anytime he started while I was there. What makes it even worse is he thought my friend and I were dating. He said as much a ton of times. so he was okay with blatantly harassing a girl next to her boyfriend. Bold or stupid? Probably both. Damn, thanks God it never got that bad in my school. The boys were usually just fucking annoying and stepping over some boundaries, not straight up sexual harassing. And the saddest part is that those asshats actually get angry if you stop them, as if they had some right to do this to those girls. Guys who peacock their extravagant purchases. I bought double Mac spicy woo. Whips out my 3090. Actually it's a 2060, but one day. Men who can't clean their own mess, do their laundry, cook their own food, being a functional adult basically. I used to live with 3 other people, 2 men and 1 woman. The guys couldn't help keeping the house clean even if their lives depended on it. One of them would help if pressured, but I'd had to clean everything again because he had such low cleaning standards, but the other one wouldn't pick up a broom. It pisses me off that when a man can do these things it's treated as some sort of miracle. Let's all work together and normalize this shit. I was looking for this comment. A lot of my wife's friends are married to man-children. The wives do all the cooking, cleaning, 95% child rearing, and still work at a paying job 40 hours a week. Meanwhile the man-children are drinking beer in the garage, getting fatter every week, or playing video games all night. I feel bad for her friends. Most of them deserve better. I'm not a perfect man or husband, but I hope I'm setting a good example of what one is supposed to be, for my daughter. Dudes who would rather put you down for not knowing every single detail about something rather than genuinely trying to help teach others and spread information. And if they do manage to give a hell to help, they for whatever reason, have to have this demeaning, belittling tone. I have a co-worker who is like this and I've found a pretty good solution, at least for him. If something comes up and he gets the attitude like I'm a dummy for not knowing about it, I just really lean into me not having any idea about it. He's really into cars, and if a car thing comes up he'll start to get a bit shitty if someone doesn't know what they're talking about. I'll just say something like, "Dude, I've never worked on a car in my life. How the fuck would I know about this shit?" Then his personality will flip and he'll just want to teach me about it. He's a great guy and is actually coming over to help me with my drywall this week. I'm not into sports. When I tell other guys that, they look at me like I just came from Mars. Older men hate taking instruction from young guys like myself in the trades. Instead of dropping their ego and feelings at the door, they come in with no experience and won't allow me to teach them. It's a lot of patience and I find it very frustrating. You may be older, but shut the fuck up and let me teach you something, bud. My blue-collar dad, in his 70s, has discovered learning new things from young guys on YouTube. He'll call and say, "Did you know they taught this stuff on YouTube?" "Yeah, Dad. Isn't it cool? And it's free." I think Dad has prescribed to learning new skills to keeping his brain young. Good. I hope I can follow suit. This is so great. Give your old man some props from me. When we shut each other down instead of building each other up and think it's cool and okay. I've been guilty of it too, but I'm trying to be better. You guys, I am overwhelmed with the discussions, awards, undeserved, and how much attention this post has gotten. Thank you all for your support and honesty, and I will try to reply to everyone. My husband says this. We have a bunch of couple friends and sometimes the girls will ski together, and we are all so positive and encouraging of each other. And now my husband refuses to ski with the guys because it's just one big competition and they make fun of each other for not being fast enough. That's really sad. I used to work for this office of maybe 20 people. Every year we would go bowling for 4th of July, and after the first year, even though I organized the event, I refused to bowl. There were a few of the guys who were fine, but for most of them it was a total pissing contest. There was one dude who was so horrible about it that several of the women in the department quit bowling. not their jobs, after being on a team with him. I hate that macho shit. No one has fun when they start with that. Guys that become completely different when there's no women around. Guy at work is always nice to his female co-workers. Second they're gone, they're a bunch of dumb bitches in need of his manly love. I've heard him tell women that his having 3 sisters gives him a great respect for them. He also told me, when the ladies weren't around, that having 3 sisters gives him insight to their weaknesses and allows him to easily take advantage of them. I hate this. I grew up with 2 older sisters and watched them get treated like crap by so many different guys, and I've always said seeing that has helped me learn how to not treat women. Then there are assholes like that who use it to take advantage. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. The older I get, the more I am hating men revving their loud cars and motorcycles. I live in a pretty busy area of Dallas, and especially at night they just love to show off and screech their tires and rev their loud mufflers to where the whole area can hear it. I am getting too old for that shit. And sorry if this is sexist, but you know it ain't women. It's definitely men. New York just passed the Sleep Act, which makes that shit a finable offense. Not sure how it'll be enforced, but at least it's something. And it's even dumber because if your car has a cat system, a burble tune is literally harming your car. We tried similar in Canada, at least in the province I'm from. I'm not sure how many tickets were issued, but at the time I lived right downtown in the middle of the city, and it didn't have much of an impact on how often I heard engines rooing, especially Friday/Saturday nights. It was almost always the same vehicles too, so same driver, and they'd rip around all night doing it even after it became a finable offense. Stupid power games. I'm like, dude, we work retail. Get over yourself. I remember my retail training had some fun activities to try, like challenge a colleague to who can do the most aisle facing up in 10 minutes. Yeah, Oregon, you could just pay me to work that fast. Lol, these corporate dipshits think that their employees are children if they actually believe they'll fall for the Tom Sawyer approach. Thanks for watching, guys. Like the video. Subscribe to indietts. I'll see you in the next video.